First question is for you. You're arguably one of the greatest people to ever touch this sport and grace this sport, and now you're getting the chance to actually coach these young players. What does it mean for you to be a coach to players like Meagan and players like the rest of your pitching staff?
Well, I think the biggest thing is I knew growing up all along that I wanted to be a coach. At the time I made that decision, what sport was probably still up in the air as I played basketball too. But as my career went on, I knew that softball was my passion. And, for me, it's just a chance to try to help these athletes experience similar things that I did. Pitching gave me so much, taught me so much, and it's being able to help guide them not only to get the strikeouts, the big outs, wins, but to be able to, working hard through this process. Pitching's not easy by any means, and getting through that process, how is that going to pay off later in life?
Right. And Meagan, again, you have this Coach Osterman as your coach. How intimidating was it when you first met her, when you first got out here in the Texas State uniform with her?
At first, throughout the whole recruiting process, it was always kind of a big deal. Your coach is going to be Kat Osterman. And then, before you really get to know her, it is kind of intimidating. But immediately, once we started working together and, she's just a person who with a lot of knowledge, so it's a little intimidating at first, but she does a great job of, helping us and not making us feel intimidated after, so
what's kind of the communication aspect between you guys? I know you guys have to talk a lot and know what the pitches are, what's being thrown and things of that sort. How do you guys communicate off the field in terms of helping you guys on the field?
I think that's been a process a little bit. It took me getting to know, in the recruiting process we watch them, we don't get to interact with them a whole lot, and I think coming in, I didn't realize how much Meagan was like myself as an athlete. So it's being able to figure out how to communicate to her, because it's very different, I think, than any athlete I've had, but in a good way. I can be straightforward. I don't need to sugarcoat it. Sometimes I try to actually be positive, and she's like, Coach, oh, no. And I'm like, okay, but I need you to see the positive, even though we don't want to. So it's just figuring out how, what works best for her and how she operates in her mind. And so for us, a lot of times it's really just direct. There's not a lot of like I said, sugarcoating or even trying to fluff things up. We're going to have, this is the plan, this is how we're going to do it, or this is what you're doing and I need you to change this. And she's very receptive to almost everything that we throw out there.
Right. And how do you think that you've been doing communicating with Coach and learning from her so far?
Pretty well. I always appreciate her constructive criticism, and there are some times where I just want to, I need to fix this and fix this and fix this, and I think she really helps me in being able to say, just, okay, but you're doing this well, so focus on this and then just tweak these little things. But I think it's been really good for me to have her telling me, and being able to focus on other things and what I just want to focus on. So having her to just be there and tell me what's going on and what I need to fix has just been really helpful for me. And since we are so much alike, she knows how to handle me, and she knows how to just sometimes tell me to get out of my own head, and so it's been really good.
Now, you guys, you're gonna have to go off into the sunset at some point, and that's a long way away. You're only a sophomore, but so far, what do you think that you've learned from Coach as a woman, just helping you outside of college?
I definitely think she works with us a lot with confidence, and just being able to own your stuff and, not worry about necessarily what's going on today, but focus on the long run and the outcome and the process. So I think being able to overcome adversity and her helping me being able to do that is something that's going to pay off for many years to come, even after I'm done playing softball.
And Coach, we heard that you're making your return to the Olympic softball team. How are you trying to balance, preparing for that and coaching these young ladies?
Right now my priority is these young ladies. I get my workouts in when I can. I work in the weight room in the mornings before I shouldn't say before anyone's here, but before a lot of people are here. And I get my bullpens in before practice or after practice sometimes, and I stay out here and do my running after practice. But, usually from about 9 to 4:30 or 5, these are my priority, and, we have a season to take care of right now. So just try to fit everything else in when I can, and, that'll work itself out. I got a little while.
Right. And back to you, Meagan. Through the first 10 wins, I saw that you had a little bit of you were learning, you were coming through and you were coming behind, this coaching staff and learning everything that you needed to learn. And now you're kind of hitting your stride in your sophomore year with many more years to go. What do you think that you want to work on right now? And what do you think that you're doing very well to trying to separate yourself from the Sun Belt Conference pitchers?
Definitely I think I have, made an improvement since the beginning of season, but by no means am I done, improving and working on things. So I think as long as I keep just, learning the game from her and learning how to be smart and how to throw what pitches when, and I think that's going to really help me. As long as I just keep working on those and perfecting little things and just kind of keep continuing to work every day and get better, I think is going to kind of help me continue to improve.
Right, and this is kind of for both of you guys. Everybody kind of has an external motivation that they go through, or someone counted them out, or somebody said that they can't do that. For you guys, what's kind of the motivation thing that keeps you guys going every single day, saying I want to get better and I want to be better at this sport?
I can probably speak from both of us. We just try to, I guess, better our outings from the day before. There was never, I was cut from a little league team when I was little, but that's not something I carry with me every day and say that motivates me. But I think when you fall in love with pitching, it's such an art that it's something you want to go out and be better at every day, instead of just saying I'm motivated because I want ABC. And I feel over time I figured out that that's how Meagan works too. And it's fun because I think, when you talk about her season in 2 different points, starting probably at the DePaul game was the turning point for her. And she finally threw a complete game. We threw a very good complete game. And I think that was the point where it was okay, I can do this again. And ever since then, it's baby steps and baby steps, and she's just better and better. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's pretty much how her mind operates as well.
Right, and do you have anything to add to that?
Every day is a motivation for me, just getting to come out here and know that I get to work with her, and, just we're out here so much, we're out here a lot, and so I just want to make sure that I'm out here getting the most out of it, and, any loss, any even outing, in practice, each day, the next day I'm okay, well, what can I take from today to work on tomorrow? And so I'm pretty easily internally motivated to always get better, because good is never good enough for me. So I think just getting to work every day is a big motivating factor for me.
Okay, and can you I know we've kind of hit it a couple times on the head, but how special is it with these players every day? As a woman, you're teaching these young women the things that they need to know. How does that make you feel on the inside?
It's awesome. I think sometimes she talked about it early, I'm just a person who happened to play softball before too, but sometimes I even forget that, they did watch me at some point in my career. And so, it usually takes till they're a senior, and we do the senior videos, and then a picture pops up from when they're 10, and I'm oh geez, and I was that's the kid I've been working with for the last 4 years. But it's special just to be able to bring different experience to them versus just having been a college pitcher. And not that any pitching coach that was just a college pitcher can't be great. There are plenty of them that are, but I have other experiences to pull from, to talk to them about, and to share with them even. I think sometimes they get more from when I talk about my failures, even with the national team, because it reminds them that maybe a different stage, but it's still a failure. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for me either. So it's a special opportunity, and I really enjoy being able to get to know them as people, and then obviously using the softball piece to allow us to build confidence and have success, and all those other great life lessons.
And one of my favorite moments, and why I love covering this team, is just seeing you guys grow. And I got to actually see you in tears when you had a pitcher who hadn't played a game and come through. Can you just go through that moment one more time? And I know that's one of your teammates, so what did that moment feel like for you to see her get out there and do that?
It's been very special for me to see all sorts of different experiences as a coach. Obviously, you have the Randy reps who come in and have the career they did, but you see people like Krista Jacobs who, regardless of how many innings she pitches every year, works her butt off, and to see that be rewarded even in one moment is huge. And so just for me to see that bright spot for them is awesome, because I work every day with them for that to happen. And Chella Flores is the same thing. She didn't pitch a single pitch last year for us, and she gets out there and gets to strike someone out this year. And for us, it's fun as a team to see that happen, because you see someone out here every day giving themselves to the program and not necessarily getting back what everyone else does, but yet they still come out here every day and put a smile on everyone's face. So it's a special opportunity to be able to see them get opportunities, even, and I don't think everyone else outside of the field understands what was put in just for that one moment.
Right. And what does that mean for you to see your teammates go
Yeah,
out
for me,
there and do that?
it's definitely a special feeling when you get to see, these girls are my sisters, so see someone that I get to work side by side with every day, knowing how hard they work, and it finally getting to pay off for them is just a great feeling for all of us, and we all, get really happy for them, and it's fun. It's a fun thing when, that they've been putting in just as much as work as you, and they actually, get to go out there and have fun. So it's really cool to see. It's a good feeling.
Right. And last question for you, just kind of a funny question. What took so long for the national or the national Twitter page to follow you on Twitter?
I have no idea. I feel like at some point they accidentally unfollowed and then refollowed probably, but it just was comical that at that point in time it said they followed me. So I was like, I played for you for 8 years, so I'm not quite sure what happened, but
Right.
it's social media, who knows?
She has so many followers. She doesn't keep up with it.
That's a lot. And that's going to wrap it up. Any
right.
last words that you guys want to tell Bobcat fans or Bobcat Nation?
We appreciate the support. I know these guys hear you guys loud and proud, and it's always awesome to see the stands full.
Yep, thank you for the support, and just keep continuing to come out and watch us play.